हरिः ओम् श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। ॐ गणानाहं त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदानश्चन्वन्नोदिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्री महागणपतये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे श्रीगुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्री शङ्कराचार्य स्वामिने नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।
नमस्ते महोदय। मृणालिनी
नमस्ते।
गोपालन भगिनी।
नमस्ते महोदय।
नमस्ते।
अशास्त्रविहितं घोरं तप्यन्ते ये तपो जनाः दम्भाहङ्कारसंयुक्ताः कामरागबलान्विताः।
गुड।
राजेश्वरी शिवशंकर भगिनी।
महोदय।
नमस्ते।
कर्षयन्तः शरीरस्थं भूतग्राममचेतसः मां चैवान्तः शरीरस्थं तान् विद्यासुरनिश्चयान्।
गुड।
अनुपमा भगिनी।
आहारस्त्वपि सर्वस्य त्रिविधो भवति प्रियः यज्ञस्तपस्तथा दानं तेषां भेदमिमं शृणु।
गुड।
ललिता भगिनी।
आयुः सत्त्वबला रोग्य सुख प्रीति विवर्धनाः रस्या स्निग्धा स्थिरा हृद्याः आहारा सात्विक प्रियाः।
First line, I think you should not give a break.
I thought I didn't give, sir. I don't know.
Because you said Bala Rogya. Arogya became A and Rogya separately.
Ayus Sattva Bala Rogya Sukha Priti Vivardhana. Where should we give the break, sir?
No break here. Ayus Sattva Bala Rogya Sukha Priti Vivardhana.
To take little breath. That's why I was just
non-stop, yeah. Okay, good.
Thank you, sir.
विजयलक्ष्मी भगिनी।
कट्वं ललवनात्युष्ण तीक्ष्णरुक्षविदाहिनः आहारा राजसस्येष्टाः दुःखशोकामयप्रदाः।
Okay, Rukshavidahinah. Kadvam Lalavanatyushna Tikhna Rukshavidahinah.
Shall I repeat, sir?
Yeah, once again, yes.
कट्वं ललवनात्युष्ण तीक्ष्णरूक्षविदाहिनः आहारा राजसस्येष्टाः दुःखशोकमयप्रदाः।
Shokamaya-pradaha. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Next.
श्रीमती भगिनी।
Yes, sir. यातयामङ्गदरसं पूति पुर्यशितं च यत्. Correct or less?
No.
Paryushitam.
Yatayamangata-rasam bhuti paryushitam cha yat.
यातयामङ्गदरसं पूति पर्युषितं च यत् उच्छिष्टमपि चामेध्यं भोजनं तामसप्रियम्.
Good. Okay, we'll continue with our new slokas for today.
लक्ष्मी बीवी भगिनी।
अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञः
अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञः
विधिदृष्टो य युज्यते
विधिदृष्टो य युज्यते विधिदृष्टो य युज्यते
अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञः विधिदृष्टो य युज्यते
अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञः विधिदृष्टो य युज्यते अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञः विधिदृष्टो य युज्यते
Good. Next.
भानुरेखा भगिनी
यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः
यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः
समाधाय स सात्विकः
समादाय स सात्विकः समादाय स सात्विकः
यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः
यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समादाय स सात्विकः यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समादाय स सात्विकः
Good. Next.
वीणा फाणिश्री भगिनी
अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञः विधिदृष्टो य युज्यते यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः
अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञः विधिदृष्टो य युज्यते अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञः विधिदृष्टो य युज्यते यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः
Okay.
यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः
Okay. Only thing is the first line you should be able to clearly chant. Apala kankshi bir. Ir should come. I heard only bi yajna. Akala kankshi bi yajna. Bir yajna. Because when you split it becomes apala kankshi bihi yajna. Becomes apala kankshi bir yajna. The ir should be very pronounced. Okay.
Shall I repeat, sir?
No problem. We can repeat when others are chanting now. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, Maharaj.
राजलक्ष्मी भगिनी
अपलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञः विधिदृष्टो य युज्यते यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः
Good. One more person.
काश्मीरा भगिनी
Yes. अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञः विधिदृष्टो य युज्यते यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः.
Can you chant the first line only again?
Yes, sir. अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञः विधिदृष्टो य युज्यते.
It is drishto, not dra. Drush.
Oh, yes. Drishto.
Yeah,
Vididrishto य युज्यते.
Yeah, correct. That is correct. Because I heard it as drashto.
I said drashto, okay. Sir. It was my mistake.
Oh, no problem. I just thought I should correct it. Okay.
Thank you,
Now, the earlier three shlokas, we are talking about ahara. And now Bhagavan has shifted to yajna. Because he said he is going to talk about ahara, yajna, tapa, dhanam. All these things he said. He is going to be talking with the three dimensions of sattvika, rajasic and tamasic. In the case of ahara, whatever we concluded earlier, I thought I need to make a few more points. Okay. One thing is that in sattvika food, sweet is considered to be sattvika food. You know, of course, sweet should be taken in moderation only, but sweet is sattvika food. And none of our festivals, none of our offerings to Bhagavan is complete without offering sweet. Satyanarayana Puja, we have to provide the Shira. If you have any kind of this thing, Modakam is required for Ganapati Puja, Suyam is required for Saraswati Puja. So if you do, then you have to have Palpayasam when you have this Ganesh, this thing, Krishna Jayanti. So we have got sweet is a fundamental part of Sattvic offering to Bhagavan. Even when you go to temples, they definitely give as a prasad some kind of sweet. Even if you go to Gurudwara, they also provide you with that nice shira kind of sweet, So sweet is supposed to be Sattvic food, and it is a part of our culture. The sweet has got to be offered as prasada to Bhagavan. Okay, that is one thing. The second thing I want to tell you was that when we talk about Sattvic food, we should not misconstrue that Sattvic food is not nutritious. In fact, Sattvic food is also nutritious because we have got a good amount of carbohydrates and proteins are added by having lentils, dal, etc. And then we have a lot of fibers and minerals coming through vegetables. We take curd, which is a probiotic. So if you look at that way, the Indian vegetarian food is a wholesome, nutritious food only. So we should not misconstrue that eating protein, for protein, we have to have some other kind of food that needs to be eaten. That is the second thing that I thought we need to all have a clarity in terms of the food. The third thing is that I just want to touch upon non-vegetarian food. It is nothing to demean anything about not eating non-vegetarian, etc. The thing is that Sattvic food definitely will help in terms of developing spiritual growth. And it does not mean eating non-vegetarian food is going to come in the way of spiritual growth. It need not be, provided the person has got a commitment in terms of spiritual growth. So, but Sattvic food will definitely help in terms of that. In the case of non-vegetarian food, it may not be hindering it, but it is not the one that is going to really be greatly helping unless otherwise the person has got the commitment that I want to go spiritually. And once they come into spirituality, they themselves slowly drop off eating non-vegetarian food. The other thing that we need to understand is that the carnivores like lions and tigers, etc., they have got a very, very short intestine. The intestine length, I think we got doctor also in our group. The intestine of a lion or tiger is hardly 5 to 7 feet in length. Okay. And when they will not be able to take vegetation. Vegetation means all these kinds of grass which is being taken by the herbivorous animals like zebras and horses and cows, etc. Because the cellulose that is there in the plant vegetation requires lot of time for breaking down, as against animal meat which is being eaten by the carnivore animals like lions and tiger, and they will be able to be quickly absorbed by the body system. And the other important factor is that animals like lions and tigers, the hydrochloric acid concentration is 20 times more than that of the human beings and that of the herbivorous animals. So they have got a very, very short intestine. Short intestine means the food cannot stay there for longer time. But if you have a long intestine and the eaten non-vegetarian food is going to stay for a longer time, it decays very fast. Non-vegetarian food decays very, very fast in the intestine system. And the intestine is going to be long, it's going to be creating a lot of trouble. For example, a tiger and lion, I said, is 7 feet in length for the intestine, whereas human beings, we have got around 20-25 feet length of intestine, both small intestine and large intestine put together. And cows have got 175 to 200 feet of intestine. Just imagine. Sheep have got 150 feet of intestine because they have to break down these cellulose, and then only the vegetation also, when it is eaten in the intestine and the digestive system, it won't decay like the way the non-vegetarian food is going to get decayed. So constitutionally and biologically, lions and tigers cannot eat non-vegetarian food. Cows and sheep cannot eat, lions and tigers cannot eat the plant food. They have to eat only that because intestine is very short and they have to absorb the entire thing. But they have got a compensation by a very high concentration of hydrochloric acid. And the case of herbivorous animals cannot take non-vegetarian food because by nature they have to have vegetarian food. The cellulose takes a long time and they have got a very low concentration of hydrochloric acid. And human beings, we are in between them. We have got around 30 feet of intestine system, and hydrochloric acid concentration also is 1/20th, is much, much lesser than the carnivores. So one can decide, we also will be able to understand from the physiological constitution of the whole body, whether this body is fit for vegetarian or non-vegetarian food. If you look at that way, the human body is more suitable for a vegetarian food than a non-vegetarian food. So this is also another thing that needs to be really understood in terms of the choice of food. And having a kind of a sattvic food also is going to help in terms of spiritual growth. So I just thought I should take a quick detour and cover this one, which I missed out yesterday. Okay. Now Bhagavan is shifting to yajna. So he said he's going to talk on these 4 topics. Ahara topic is over, food is over. Now this is yajna. So if you look at the yajna, the sattvika yajna, if you look at that way, the finally is completing it sattvika. Yattabja meveti manaha samadayasa sattvika. So he says that these things are sattvika yajnas. What are sattvika yajnas? Apala kamshibihi. The person does not expect anything in return. There is no earning for return by doing a yajna. Okay, so apala kamshibihi. Then vididrishtaha. It is going to be compliant to the Vedas and scriptures. So ya ijjate, the kind of yajna that is being offered in line with the Vedas and scriptures, vididrishtaha ya ijjate, offered in line with the scriptures, apala kamshibihi. There is absolutely no desire in terms of doing that. Like we have talked about the Panchamaha Yajnas, no? Brahma Yajna, Pitur Yajna, Bhuta Yajna, Deva Yajna. So those things we already talked about. Okay. So those kinds of things are primarily for the entire sustenance of the creation. So Apala Kamkshibihi Yajna, Vididrishtaha, Ya Ijjache, what is being offered? Yashtavyam Me Devi. Then the next important thing is Manasamadaya. Manasamadaya means the person who is doing that yajna has got to have a full dedication and wholeheartedly is supposed to do the yajna. He is not going to be doing a yajna for the sake of publicity, not for the sake of getting fame, name, power, etc., etc. So he has got to yashtavyam eva iti. It has got to be offered wholeheartedly. Manasamadaya. If that is the way it is given, it is called sattvika yajna. And Satvika Yajna, we can also classify a lot of things, like the way we do pujas in our house, going to temples, reading certain kinds of books, etc., offering water to Tulsi, offering water to some plants. All these things are called Satvika Yajna, where we don't have anything in return or expected, but we feel it is our duty to do all those kinds of things. So, Apala Kamshibihi, there's no return expectation. So, Apala Kamshibihi Yajna Vididrishtaha Ya Ijjate. Yashtavyam eva iti manaha samadaya sa sattvika. This thing is all sattvika yajna. Okay. Next.
Usha Srinivasan Bhagini.
Abhisandayatu phalam.
Abhisandayatu phalam. Sorry. Abhisandayatu phalam.
Dhambartamapi chaiva yat.
Dhambartamapi chaiva yat. Dambhartamapi chaiva yat.
Abhisandayatu phalam. Dhambartamapi chaiva yat.
Abhisandhayatu phalam. Dambhartamapi chaiva yat. Abhisandayatu phalam. Dambhartamapi chaiva yat.
Good. Next.
Gurumurti Mahodaya.
Ijjate Bharata Shrestha.
Ijjate Bharata Shrestha. Ijjate Bharata Shrestha.
Yajñau Vidhi Rajasam.
Yajñau Vidhi Rajasam. Yajñau Vidhi Rajasam.
Ijjate Bharata Shrestha. Yajñau Vidhi Rajasam. Vidhi Rajasam.
Ijjate Bharata Shrestha. Yajñau Vidhi Rajasam. Ijjate Bharata Shrestha. Yajñau Vidhi Rajasam.
Good. Next.
Sharat Chavan Mahodaya.
Abhisandhayatu phalam dhambatamapi chaiva yat.
अभिसन्धाय तु फलं दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत् अभिसन्धाय तु फलं दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत्
Next.
Bhanureka Bhagini.
Yijyate bharata shrestha tayyajñau viddhi rajasam.
युज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठ तय्यज्ञविद्धि राजसम् युज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठ तय्यज्ञविद्धि राजसम्.
Good. Next.
Rajeshwari Shivshankar Bhagini.
Abhisandhayatu phalam dhambatamapi chaiva yat. Ijjate bharata shrestha tayyajñau viddhi rajasam.
अभिसन्धायतु फलं दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत् युज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठ तय्यज्ञं विद्धि राजसम्.
Good. Next.
Lakshmi Bibi Bhagini.
अभिसन्धायतु फलं दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत् युज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठ तय्यज्ञं विद्धि राजसम्.
Good. Next.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bhagini.
अभिसन्धायतु फलं दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत् युज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठ तय्यज्ञं विद्धि राजसम्.
Okay. So the second line is pretty simple. Yijyate bharatasheta tayyajam viddhi rajasam. Please understand that these kinds of offerings, these kinds of yajnam is rajasam. That's the second line meaning. What is the first line meaning? That is abhisandhayatu phalam. The previous sloka we said apalakangshibihi, without any expectation for results, is the earlier sloka. Here abhisandhayatu phalam is with expectation. Two is in this case Abhisandhaya phalam. There is an expectation in terms of doing this particular yajna. If a person does any yajna with expectation in mind, and in the earlier case we said manas samadaya, wholeheartedly, without expectation, it was done. That was called satvikam. Here, abhisandhaya phalam, with very clearly having an expectation in the mind, and damba artham. They have to have a kind of pomp, show, money, influence. By doing this, I'm going to get money, influence, power, publicity, dhambartham. So if anything is being done with the intention and a motive, primarily for his own personal needs, that is sakama karma. We have talked about sakama and nishkama. Na? This is sakama yajna. We are doing it for the purpose of getting something in return. What is there when I do this yajna? What is there in it for me? The first one is that the focus, the Satvika Karma, Satvika Yajna was focusing primarily on what is that I can give. So they were focusing on what I can give, what I can do. Here this person is focusing on what I will get. So Abhisandhayatu phalam dhambarthamapi chaivagati. Ijjate bharata shrestha tam yajnam viddhi rajasam. If that is being offered like that, please understand Arjuna, it is supposed to be rajasic kind of a yajnam. So we have to have a very clear thing, because they are having some intention why they are doing it. Somebody will do the yajna and Satvika person will only do a Varuna yajna and then he will not even say anything. This person will have a board put all over the city that so and so date, sponsored by so and so person, we are doing a yajna. Is the publicity of that. That he is doing a very he is doing a very great public service by doing all those kinds of things. He is a religious person. Dhambartham, they do have publicity. In fact, with the subsequent slokas, when you talk about dana, we have to understand that even if somebody is giving a danam, and then say in many places we would have seen fan, they will put the name Ubayam Subramania here. They'll say that it has been given, this fan has been given to Subramaniam. Once they put the name, the punya is gone. Once you have is associating with the danam, is all gone. So any kind of danam, once you have given, you are not supposed to identify yourself with what you have given. And that's what they say in the case of Karna, what he used to give from right hand, even his left hand was not aware of it. That is the level to which Dhanam has to be done. We'll be talking about it in subsequent sloka. Here also, Dambhartam means it has got he is giving so much of publicity, and such kinds of publicity primarily for his own pride and also so pretension and then pomp and show is all to be classified as Rajasic type of yajna. It is not going to help him in a spiritual movement, spiritual growth, because till the time he goes to the time the body falls, he'll only be trying to see how I can make more money, more money, more money, more money, more wealth, more fame, more power. Whether I, at the age of 85, whether I'll become the president of Congress Party and become prime minister at the age of 90. That's the kind of expectation these people have. So much, attached to power and wealth and popularity, etc. So, okay. Next.
Anupama Bhagini.
Vidhihinamsrushtanam.
विधिहीनमसृष्टान्नम् विधिहीनमसृष्टान्नम्
Mantrahinamadakshinam.
मन्त्रहीनमदक्षिणम् मन्त्रहीनमदक्षिणम्
Vidhihinamsrushtanam. Mantrahinamadakshinam.
विधिहीनमसृष्टान्नम् मन्त्रहीनमदक्षिणम् विधिहीनमसृष्टान्नम् मन्त्रहीनमदक्षिणम्.
Good. Next.
Vijayalakshmi Bhagini.
Shraddha virahitai yajnam.
Shraddha virahitai yajnam. Shraddha virahitai yajnam.
Tamasam parichakshate.
Tamasam parishakshate. Tamasam parishakshate.
Nasa. Tamasam parichakshate.
Tamasam parishakshate.
Okay, good. Next.
Kashmira Bhagini.
Vidhihinamsrushtanam. Mantrahinamadakshinam. Shraddha virahitai yajnam. Tamasam parichakshate.
विधिहीनमसृष्टानम् मन्त्रहीनमदक्षिणम् श्रद्धाविरहितं यज्ञम् तामसं परिचक्षते.
Good. Next.
Srimati Bhagini.
Yes, sir.
Full sloka once.
Yes, sir. Vidhihinamsrushtanam mantrahinamadakshinam shraddhavirahitay yajnam tamasam parichakshate.
Very good. Next.
Lalita Bhagini.
विधिहीनमसृष्टान्नं मन्त्रहीनमदक्षिणं श्रद्धाविरहतै यज्ञं तामसं
Shraddha virahitam, not rahitam, virahitam.
not yeah. श्रद्धाविरहितं यज्ञं तामसं परिचक्षते.
Good. You can say Shraddha
That yeah is there, na sir? Shraddha virahitai.
No, what you said, no, virihitam, you said virahitam, you said virihitam. So I corrected.
Oh, I'm sorry. Virahitam only.
Virahitam, you told virihitam. Instead of tam, you should say thai only.
Thai only. Okay, I'm sorry, sir.
It's okay. No, you don't have to feel sorry at all.
No. Virahitai yajnam.
Correct. One more person.
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
विधिहीनमसृष्टान्नं मन्त्रहीनमदक्षिणं श्रद्धाविरहितं यज्ञं तामसं परिचक्षते.
So this is the third category of yajna. This is called tamasam parichakshate. Yajnam tamasam parichakshate. These yajnas are called as tamasic type of yajnas. What kind of yajnas are there? Vidhihinam, absolutely non-compliance to the scriptures. So vidhihinam. Asrushtanam, there's no offering. There's no prasada, nothing. Okay. Asrushtanam. Mantrahinam. There's absolutely no need, no kind of invocation by using the various scriptural puja procedures. Mantrahinam. No need of, no, they are not having any kind of mantras for these kinds of things. Adakshinam. If the priest has been there, for the priest, they don't even give a dakshina for it. Because if you look at our culture, today things could have been different, but in the Vedic culture, it was supposed to be that the priests had to make a living only to the dakshina what has been offered to them. That was only way of their living, and their entire family used to depend only on that. And so it was the responsibility of the other three communities to ensure that the priest is called upon to perform various yajnas and other things, and then they also compensate him materially so that he'll be able to lead a very decent life. So that is the earlier Vedic kind of things. And a priest also, as per Vedic culture, he is not supposed to demand money himself. He should not say, give me this much, give me that. That is not at all acceptable. But today, what has happened is that in the yesteryears, in the earlier Vedic time and all, responsibility of the three other people was to ensure that he is taken care of very well so that he does not suffer because he is only living on this particular livelihood is based on this priesthood. So everybody was ensuring that he is taken care of properly. He and his family have the right kind of resources for maintaining the family. But today, what has happened is that many people, they were telling that my grandfather was giving only 2 rupees for Amavasa Tarpadam. You're asking, I'm giving you 20 rupees, etc. They started talking. So when people were talking like that, then the priest also said, okay, if you want me to come and do anything in your house for Amavasya, give me 250 rupees. If you want to have a birthday celebration, give me 1,500 rupees. If you have a Shraddham, give me 6,000 rupees. Have a marriage, 1 lakh rupees. So they have to fix it because the society where we did not understand that we have to support them, when we were trying to do a kind of bartering with them as though we are buying a refrigeration or television sets, they also have come into that kind of situation. So one of the most important things is that it is essential that the priests who are coming and doing such kinds of rituals for us on our behalf, because we do not have the Vedic knowledge, they have to be fairly compensated. We are not supposed to be confused. We go and pay a 500 rupees tip when you go to a 5-star hotel and eat food and come. Whereas here we start counting money and say 50 rupees is okay for him. So I'm just giving a comparative thing. So we spend money in a lot of other things, but when it comes to the question of supporting these kinds of cultural, these kinds of priests, etc., there has always been a kind of miserliness shown by many of the people. So we have to ensure that we have to support them by fairly compensating them. In fact, Taittiriya Upanishad talks about it. Shraddhayadeyam, Shriyadeyam. They say that you have to give everything to them. You have to take care of them. So that is one of the most important. So if you look at that way, Vidhihinam, not compliance with the scriptures. Asrushtanam, no food has been cooked and no prasadam has been given. Mantrahinam, no compliance to mantra requirements. Adakshinam, no dakshina being paid. Shraddha virahitam. There was no absolute no commitment from the person who is making this yajnam. Then that is called tamasam parichakshate. So now you have to understand, it does not mean that tamasic people are doing this yajna. Even many times we ourselves may fall into one of these things. Vidhihinam, Asushtanam, Mantrahinam, Adakshinam, Shraddha, Virahitam. It's possible that some of us also, we think that we are sattvic, also might have been doing such kinds of a ritual or yajna. That means that yajna that has been done on that day with these, any one of these things should be classified as a tamasic yajna and does not give the right kind of results. It's not a sattvic yajna. So Vidhihinam, Asushtanam, Mantrahinam, Adakshinam, Shraddha, Virahitam yajnam, tamasam parichakshate. Okay, next. Anybody there? Next.
Lakshmi Bhagini.
Yes, Bhagini.
Deva Dvija Guru Prajna. You stop it.
Yes, sir. Deva Dvija Guru Prajna. Deva Dvija Guru Prajna.
Pujanam Shaucha Marjavam.
Pujanam Shaucha Marjavam. पूजनं शौचमार्जवम्
देवद्विज गुरुप्राज्ञ पूजनं शौचमार्जवम्
देवद्विजगुरुप्राज्ञपूजनं शौचमार्जवम् देवद्विजगुरुप्राज्ञपूजनं शौचमार्जवम्
Good. Next.
श्रीलक्ष्मी भगिनी
ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च
ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च
शारीरं तप उच्यते
शारीरं तप उच्यते शारीरं तप उच्यते
ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते
ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते
Good. Next.
गुरुमूर्ति महोदय
देवद्विजगुरुप्राज्ञ पूजनं शौचमार्जवम्
देवद्विजगुरुप्राज्ञ पूजनं शौचमार्जवम् देवद्विजगुरुप्राज्ञ पूजनं शौचमार्जवम्
Good. Next.
शरद चवन महोदय
ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते
ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते
Good. Next.
उषा श्रीनिवासन भगिनी
देवद्विजगुरुप्राज्ञ पूजनं शौचमार्जवम् ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते
देवद्विजगुरुप्राज्ञ पूजनं शौचमार्जवम् ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते
Good. Next.
वीणा फानिश्री भगिनी
देवद्विजगुरुप्राज्ञा पूजनं शौचमार्जवम् ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते
Good. Next. One more person.
भानुरेखा भगिनी
देवद्विजगुरुप्राज्ञ पूजनं शौचम्
Please go ahead.
देवद्विजगुरुप्राज्ञ पूजनं शौचमार्जवम् ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते
Good. So now we're talking about tapa. So we have just completed yajna. Now we are moving into tapa. So when you look at tapa is austerity. The austerity is first one they are talking about deva. Deva means Bhagavan, Lord, Devatas. Vija. Vija is supposed to be a Brahmin. A Brahmin in the sense the person who has got a very good knowledge of Vedas, very good knowledge of scriptures, Brahmavid, the person who has also known Brahma is supposed to be Brahman. Okay, so Dvija in this case, you can say is primarily a person who is very well versed with the scriptures. So Deva, Dvija, Guru. Guru is teacher. Teacher can be LKG teacher, UKG teacher, school teacher, college professor, music teacher, or even somebody is teaching you shlokas and chanting. Everybody is supposed to be a part of teacher because they are giving you some vidya. So Deva, Dvija, Guru, Prajna. Prajna means a jnani who has already realized himself. So when you come across these kinds of people, Deva, Dvija, Guru, Prajna, essential that you need to do worship of them. They have to be respected, they have to be properly taken care of, and the kind of worshipping that is being done to these people is also like doing namaskaram to them or doing some kind of service to them. All those things are supposed to be shariram tapa. Shariram means by the body, tapa by the body. Okay. Then other things is shaucham. Shaucham is primarily what? Shaucham is keeping the body clean, cleanliness, purity. Purity is, as we have already discussed multiple times, purity of the mind and purity of the body. Both of them are shaucham. Arjavam is straightforwardness, which means that your thought, your words, and your actions are all absolutely same. You don't think something in your mind and tell something in the words. So that is called Arjavam. Okay. The Brahmacharyam. Brahmacharyam means that if you look at our ashramas, we had 4 ashramas. One is the Brahmacharya ashrama, then it's called Grahastha ashrama, then it came Vanaprastha, and then it became Sannyasa. Those are the 4 kinds of ashramas we had. So the 3 people, Brahmacharya, and then the Vanaprastha, and also the Sannyasa. These 3 people, for them, Brahmacharya means they have to maintain absolute celibacy in terms of their behavior. Whereas Grahastha Ashrama, those people, these people have to be in chastity. Brahmacharyam, Sannyasa, and Brahmacharyam, Sannyasa, and Vanaprastha, they have to be absolutely celibate, not chastity, they have to be celibates. They should be absolutely clear that this is the kind of life they are going to live. Whereas Grahastha Astra, those people, they have to maintain chastity in terms of relationship. So that is also called Brahmacharya. So Brahmacharya is classified, one for the married people and the other one for all the other 3 people. Celibacy and chastity are extremely important depending on whatever ashrama that you are in. So all these things are called Shariram Tapa Uchyate. In Shariram Tapa means Shariram is the basic body. In Shariram Tapa, Bhagavan is going to talk about 3 different, next 15, 16, 17 shloka. He is going to be talking about only Shariram Tapa. Shariram is, one is called Kayikam Tapa. Kayikam means body. Body means the whole Stula Shariram. What is the kind of tapa, austerity that you need to maintain with body? The second thing is that he'll be talking about Vachikam Tapaha. That is what is being talked about. So Kayikam, Vachikam is the 16th shloka, and 17th shloka will be Manasam Tapaha. So he's going to elaborate on the Shariram Tapaha in terms of Kayikam, Manasam, and Vachikam. So those 3 things will be expanded in the subsequent shlokas. So what he tells in this is that it is essential that one needs to worship Deva, Vija, Guru, Prajna, Pujanam, Shaucham, Arjavam, Brahmacharyam, Ahimsa. Another thing, Ahimsa in terms of physically not hurting anybody and mentally also not hurting anybody is called Ahimsa. All these things are called Shariram Tapa Uchyate. These are called Shariram Tapa. And Shariram Tapa is extremely important because once a person is going to have a Shariram Tapa, at least the person will get out of his bed and then start using his body. Otherwise, this fellow is going to become a lazy guy, always sleeping. At least the body will be moving and he is being taken to the temple. He'll go around the temple 3 to 4 times and then do some Sattanga Namaskaram to the temple at the Praharam and all. All these things will keep the person not very lazy. At least the body will be put into kind of use. So they also say that Alasyam hi Manushyanam Sarirastu Mahan Ripuhu. He says that Alasyam is the laziness, Manushyanam Sarirastaha, for the body of the human beings, Mahan Ripuhu. Mahan Ripuhu means the biggest enemy is laziness. So one of the Shariram Tapaha, you ensure that you are going to keep your body active, walk up to the temple, go around the temple 3-4 times, do the Namaskaram over there. All those things are very, very important. Then you can also establish some relationship with God. You can also establish certain kinds of rituals going on the temple. Then there can be, you may be doing some kinds of small rituals in the home, like Sandhya Vandanam, or doing some puja where you put your body into action. Or if you want to have a community action, then you may perhaps have a Atirutram, Jesdrushtam, or you are all doing Gita Parayanam. It's another kind of Shariram Tapaha. You are using Gita Parayanam, Narayanam Parayanam. All these things are called Shariram Tapaha, which we shall talk in the subsequent classes because we need to close at 3 o'clock. Okay. So I'll just close with this sloka and then we'll continue next week. Aphalakam Shebirjajnah Vidit Srishto Ya Ijjate Yashtavya Veti Manah Samadaya Satvikaha Abhisandhayatu Phalam दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत् युज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठ तैयज्ञं विद्धि राजसं विधिहीनमसृष्टान्नं मन्त्रहीनमदक्षिणं श्रद्धाविरहितैयज्ञं तामसं परिचक्षते देवद्विजगुरुप्राज्ञपूजनं शौचमार्जवं ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च शारीरं तपमुच्यते ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ओं श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्